Roll call. Sabrina?
Here.
Kim?
Here.
Dick? Here. Paul? Here. Eileen?
Here.
Brenda's here.
Joe's missing.
Joe? No.
Joe's coming. He's working on getting on.
We'll put him in when he comes. Okay, Kim, is this you? Approval of the Board of Directors meeting minutes.
Yes, that's me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have 4 different minutes that we need to approve. We need to approve the April 1st and the April 15th workshop and board meeting. And then we need to approve the June 10th when we ratified the contracts, and June 12th, the special assessment. And then once these are all approved, they'll show up on the website. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes from the workshop on April 1st, 2025.
I
I
second it.
second it.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Sabrina. Okay, she did.
He did.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Second is I'm making a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from April 15th, 2025. I need a second.
Dick.
That was Dick.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Then we need to approve the board meeting that we held to ratify the contracts. That was the one where we talked about the contracts for the special assessment that were signed by unanimous consent. So I make a motion to approve the board meeting to ratify the contracts that was on June 10th, 2025. I need a second.
I second it. Brenda?
Brenda,
Yes.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then the fourth one is the special assessment meeting minutes that was held on June 12th, 2025, where the board approved the special assessment and the amounts. So I make a motion to approve the special assessment meeting minutes from June 12th, 2025. I need a second.
Second.
Was that Dick?
Yes.
Motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, Eileen.
Okay, I'm going to start with talking about the progress of the assessment. As of July 31st, we have collected $1,014,031. We still have, these numbers change pretty much daily. Some people are a little slow on finding out about the assessment, so they were a little late paying, but we still have about 50 people that need to pay. 26 of those have paid something on the assessment. We have 7 units that are for sale that are not paying right now. We have 1 resident that just recently passed away. And then we have 6 units that are in arrears for more than just the assessment amount. So we have a total of about $108,000 that still needs to be paid. That's less than 10%, and overall, less than 5% have not paid anything of the units, less than 5% of the units. And Danny is doing a really good job following up and sending out letters and emailing and trying to contact the people that have not paid, Danny and Holly. So these numbers are changing pretty much daily. We hope that soon everybody will do the responsible thing and pay. And then the Treasury report for July, yesterday we were able to get the financials from Watson, and their financial reports are great. And so we are in month 7 of 2025. Our operating income for the month was $342,878. and our expenses were $248,586. Our operating cash available is $232,172. Our insurance escrow is right now at $377,201. And as I said, the special assessment, what we've taken in through the end of July, was $1,014,031. Somebody have a question on the phone? Okay, looking at our actual expenses versus budgeted for the year, we're looking good, but a lot of our expenses don't come in till later in the year. But as of the end of July, our total operating expenses for the year were $1,912,987. We had budgeted $2,156,058, so we have a variance in the good for $243,071. Then we have our non-operating expenses of our land lease and our reserves, and so our total expenses for the year are $2,587,241, and our total budget for the year at this point is $2,830,312, so our variance is $243,071. Our South State reserves, the money in the bank, $553,814, and Morgan Stanley cash and CDs is $506,123, so the total reserves is $1,059,937. This will be put in with the minutes. Kim, I guess, was going to try and get it up on the screen, but she couldn't. So
Yeah. Sorry.
So they'll go in with the minutes, and if anybody has questions, you can come see me. Okay.
We're good? Thank you, Lanny. Okay, now the manager's report.
I don't have a huge amount because, as you know, we're like in project mode for the summer, and that's gonna come later in the project update. I do wanna let you know I am working on violations throughout the community the best I can. The hardest one has been the parking. And right now, please keep in mind, we have 5 buildings that they have been displaced from their front parking spots. So those folks in those 5 buildings are having to park other places within the community. They really have no other choice. So please be patient as we work our way through this. And if you do have some type of major issue, someone's using your spot, please call. Let me know, send me an email so I can address it. But it has become difficult as far as driving around and trying to see who's who and where they are. The other thing that we've been still having issues with is the garbage. Frank, who does the garbage pickup, has come to the office and we're making him signs. We're not doing for all the garbage cans, but we're laminating, putting them in plastic where you're gonna see reminders from here to here. He's gonna place them on buildings that are having difficulties where he's still finding the grocery bags with the garbage in, you know, loose garbage, things like that. So it's just a reminder, set of rules. If you see it on your garbage bin, it's a reminder. It's nothing personal against you directly if you're doing the correct thing. Those are 2 of the things. I know there's been some discrepancies with the landscaping. I'm working with Orlando on that. Today I was out and I did take several more pictures since he was here yesterday of the things he did they were not taking care of yesterday while he was here. So I am working with him on that, and if you see anything in your area, please, let me know. I can't see everything all the time. I appreciate all of your comments coming back to me. When you see something, please say something, email me, stop by the office, fill out a work order, what have you, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And then I just want to thank you all. I've been here officially a little over a year now. When I was working on the agenda, I had to laugh because I was like, oh, it's a year ago since my car got hit out here in the parking lot is actually what I thought. I was like, it was my first board meeting. I was so nervous with everybody and stuff, and then that happened, and I was like, oh no. But a year later, here I am, and again, I'm here for you all, so please, if you or if you think I'm not doing something that I should be doing, please come and talk to me. So that's really all I got for my manager report today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Holly. Okay, so new business. Is this you, Kim?
No, I believe this is,
The resolutions?
then resolutions, yes, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, that is me.
resolutions.
Okay, that is me.
Yeah.
So we have two resolutions that we need to approve today. One of them is the salary review. And again, these will, once we get approval today, these will be placed on the website, on Vanica and on the portal, hopefully by the end of today, definitely by the end of tomorrow. So we had to change the salary review committee resolution because it originally had stated that we needed to have information to the board by April. The problem with that is the cost of living information is not available, and so we couldn't do it if we wanted to. So we made two changes to this. One of them is that we make a preliminary report of the proposed suggested pay increases to the board before the end of September each year. That way we have all the information for any preliminary reports of salary increases for our employees to the board prior to the budget meeting. And then in bullet 4, we also said that you need to present the proposed salary and benefit proposals for all positions to the other board of directors at a closed board meeting prior to the budget meeting. So the bottom line here is that we changed the date from April, which was just way too early, to closer to budget time. So I would like to make, and this has all been sent out to the board for a look-see prior to us having this meeting. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the salary review committee resolution as it is now stated.
Second.
Who was that?
Well,
Thank you, Paul. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank
I see
you.
Joe's in the meeting now, too.
Oh, hi, Joe. Oh, he's probably muted. Sorry, we're gonna learn all that. Here's iPhone Joe. There he
Unmute
is.
Joe,
I'm gonna unmute Joe.
so he can vote, too.
Am I unmuted now?
You are unmuted now.
Okay.
Hi, Joe.
We can also start your video. You want me to start? You can start your video if you'd like. I just made it so you could turn it on. Did you vote yes or no on that, Joe? There you are.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I've got all in favor, motion carries. So the next one is, and this is one that I've been working on for a while. It's the official committee's resolution. And the previous official committee's resolutions had all the resolution numbers in it. It had this huge section in it that talked about Mora. And since Mora now has their own charter where they state how they run, in this new resolution, we just talk about the Mora charter. And all the board has seen this. They've all provided feedback. And if anyone at this meeting would like to see an advance copy, I can send it to you after we're done here. But I'd like to make a motion to approve the official committee's resolution. Can I get a second?
Second.
Was that Paul or Dick?
Dick.
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 Thank you. Sorry, it's hard to tell voices on this thing. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, aye.
Motion passes. Both of those new resolutions will be on the websites and in the board office in a hard copy within the end of the week.
Okay.
That's what I had, Brenda.
Okay. Next, we have a motion, I'd like to make a motion to approve Maria Stiano on the Budget Committee.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. discussion of the new committee. That's you, right, Kim?
That's me.
Nope, that's
Is that
Brent, that's
Sabrina?
Sabrina.
Okay.
Okay, the board has, discussed, of the possibility of the formation of a new committee that would be the eyes of Monterey for the betterment of the community. It would, be called the, Community Improvement Committee. So we've been finding that in the past few months, there's been numbers of violations that need to be addressed, and these violations are plaguing our community, and they're becoming worse and worse and worse. So we just can't really go down this road over and over again and let things get worse. So we feel forming this new community would address a lot of the issues, and it would benefit all. We would like to open this up to board discussion and to community discussion. But first, I'm going to explain a little bit more, like some of the things that we would be looking for. So sometimes people feel uncomfortable coming to the board. They don't want to come to the board, or they don't want to go to the office and complain. And I'm figuring if we have a committee like this, people will feel more comfortable going to someone in their community. Hopefully we get some local people that are there all the time, going to the community people and saying, you know, this is happening. For example, like I heard a complaint about somebody that keeps putting the hot water heater on cool. So instead of keeping it on hot. So somebody likes to have a warm shower, they're not going to because somebody keeps changing that. So you have this community member that can go, you can go to that community member if you don't feel comfortable coming to us or going to the office. You go to that person addresses it. They would come to us, and we would address that person, maybe write a letter or whatever it needs to be. The parking situation, I was thinking with the parking situation, they would have parking tickets, and you see somebody, because a lot of times these things don't happen during the day when Holly's there or when we're around, they happen later on. So, or on the weekends, you know, there's not going to be any eyes there. So now you're going to go and park wherever you want to park, even though you know you're not supposed to. So this way, the people that are on this committee can put a ticket on there, you know, have some proof of what's happening, and it can be addressed more quickly. That is something, and there's other things too. If you see something broken, something that needs to be addressed, all kinds of things that are good for the community. So with that, I'd like to open it up to board and community discussion.
Is there anyone,
Yeah,
Anybody have anything to say?
I do.
Anybody have any comments?
On the community involvement, these community, or this committee members would be the eyes and ears for the board.
Yep.
They could not take action against any residents by themselves or through the committee. It would, any action against any resident would have to come through the board. So it's not gonna, you know, it's not a police force, it's just eyes and ears in the community. Since it's not, you know, it won't be just the board members or Holly looking for stuff, it would be other community members, you know, who are out and about, you know, again, being the eyes and ears for the board and reporting these issues back to the board, you know, with possible solutions, instead of just, you know, so-and-so is complaining about this issue. Well, you know, what are some possible ramifications or solutions to it? So not just eyes and ears, but also, you know, some ideas.
And
Yes, so we can fix things, and it's not something of a harassment thing.
now, and Holly spends a lot of her time doing this parking problems, and hopefully this would help her have a little bit of extra time to deal with other bigger issues. you know, with our construction in here, we need to all have our eyes and ears open and be aware of what's going on, because things can happen when you get a lot of people in here. And hopefully this committee would help with that also.
So I have a question from Bob McCosey. He wants to know, would it be in conjunction with the building reps?
We didn't figure that part out of it. We didn't figure that out yet.
Wouldn't have to
I was
be.
thinking it would be a separate committee that would come to us.
Right.
So Sabrina, would it be a board committee or would it be a non-board committee?
It's a non-board committee, but.
Because there wouldn't
it
be a board
reports-
member on it, right?
Brenda told me she would like to be the liaison to the committee,
Okay,
so it would be like a board committee.
okay.
Yes.
Then I have to update
Yes.
my resolution again.
I'm here most of the time, and would
Sorry.
definitely like to help. I also want to make a comment, too, and I already forgot.
Oh, right, right. And I
People have
believe
to-
by statute,
I just
they
want to,
cannot, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Brenda.
I just want to remind everyone that in our rules and regs, you're not allowed to park in somebody else's space just because they're not here. You can, however, get permission from the owner, but, and that is okay, especially during the summer. Right now, as Eileen said, with all this construction going on, there are cars everywhere, and it's going to be very hard. So eventually, we'll put this together. But yeah, I think it's a good idea, because the board can't be out there policing everybody. But if the community comes together and just tries to help in their area or whatever, it may help. It's getting out of hand, and the rules are getting thrown aside. Thank you. Okay, Kim, did you have something to say?
I don't remember now,
I
sorry.
saw that Peter, something came up for Peter Staffold.
Oh, here's from, okay, instead of a new committee, is this a role that the building reps can assume? And I think the problem is we would have 51 building reps. That's just way too many people, that we need a smaller organization than 51.
I agree, we do not need that many.
Hold on, we have
No.
Milsa coming to the podium.
We need like 3.
Is it on?
Yeah, I think it would be a nightmare to have all the building reps, 51 of them, unless there's something that can be in addition to the building reps, to have a person that maybe can be assigned to half, or like I have a person that maybe is responsible from 1 to 10 building, maybe something in that capacity to break it down a little. The second part is, if it's not going to be under the board, is it going to follow under Mora?
No, it's going to be under the board.
Thank you.
Because ultimately, we're responsible
Right.
for what
Oh,
happens.
that's what I was going to say. I believe by Florida statute, we're going to have to look into the legality of this, because I don't think by Florida statute you can give a resident the power that the board and the property manager has. I think everything needs to be run through the board and the property manager.
So that's why, and we don't want too many people doing this, because you want some consistency. Everybody, you know, I just think it would be easier having a few people that are interested in making sure things are nice and orderly for everyone, and keep it that way, and have them report to us.
And people, this is for the first socialization only. There's going to be lots of comments and lots of discussion about this before.
We're still figuring it out.
Yep.
Anybody else have any ideas on this or comments? Do people like this idea?
Yeah, I like it, Sabrina.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make a comment that I've noticed a couple pretty serious speeding issues in the community. I was playing golf the other day. We were standing on the fifth tee. Somebody came off Main Street there going towards the exit. He had to be doing 30 miles an hour. And man, with people, golfers walking around and bikers, I mean, it's really dangerous. Just a comment.
See, and these are the types of things that we would like. We can't be everywhere at once, so these are the kinds of things that you could report to this committee or to the board, of course, or Holly. But you have another avenue now like this if we go through with this.
Yeah, how do you start to stop it?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so Nilsa, again, 9F. I don't know, I think we have too many committees and too many avenues. We're already using the building reps to sort of look at their buildings. We used to have a safety and security thing. I don't know if that was broken down, but they can also write out a work order if something is noticed, or that yellow form, if there's a violation or something that they've seen, the owners can do that. I don't know, building another committee would be the answer. That's my personal opinion.
Those will fall into the window, those
Yeah.
yellow forms. People aren't using them, they're just kind of doing what they want. That's what we're seeing, more and more of the rules set aside.
So that they're not using the forms, I don't know, and nobody here, anybody else here has a comment of whether or not they think this is a great idea, other than me?
Anybody?
No?
I think one thing that we're all concerned about is security here. And there have been a couple issues recently, and we just need more eyes and ears on. We talked some more about having more cameras around, but of course that's an expense that we're going to have to face. So it's just, let's get some ideas.
I say, yeah, wait on it and wait to see what you hear back, and also to see if you'll even get the volunteers.
Yeah.
You might not even be
Well,
able
it's
to
just a
get.
suggestion
There's a
right
lot
now.
of people around here that can't volunteer to do that kind of work.
That's true.
So we have to make sure that if you're looking at somebody that's got to drive around, because who's going to walk around to check all these cars and parking? That's a lot of, Holly can tell you, that's a big work. Are they going to be allowed to get on a cart to do that? There's a lot that has to be looked at before we can come up with this
That
type of a
becomes
committee.
policing, though.
Well, how else are they going to
More
look
of
at?
what you see, see something, say something.
That would be the residents, but you're talking about a committee that's going to needs to go around to check. Otherwise, how are they going to know?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nelson.
I did say that people could go to them and report also. We're having a lot of problems with this because people are coming like late at night or whenever, they're after hours and parking wherever. And a lot of the people that do follow the rules are getting really annoyed because there's a bunch that persistently decide that they're going to do what they want to do. And they do things in different, like after hours and different times when you can't find them. Is it going to be like these people have to ride around in police constantly? I don't know if that's the way it's going to be. And it doesn't, we're not going to have just one person, one or two people. We would hope there would be a few more people on the committee so that it wouldn't all fall on like one or two people. And the details too have not been worked out. This is a preliminary look at how this would work. So.
Also, we've seen several people, they're actually living here without us knowing. Holly doesn't know, the office, there's no occupant. So they are parking in guest spaces, claiming it's a visitor. And we need to know who actually is living here. It's not anything against anybody. You can bring in whoever you want, but it would be nice to know, so as a safety for all of us.
State requirement.
Yeah, it's required for your documents.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay?
Anything else? Or we'll move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we,
Discussion of new committee.
that's the one we.
No, we're beyond that. Okay.
Discussion of vehicle height.
Okay, that is me.
Yeah.
That's Kim. So, as we all know, or we should all know, there's a lot of discussion here at Monterey about the height of vehicles. And again, this is kind of like we did with the scooters, where we're going to go out there and we're going to put this information out, and we're not going to make any decisions today. Car height is, as many of you know, from an amended bylaw dated on May 20th, 2008, they changed the car sizes 70 inches tall to the top of the roof and 220 inches long. Okay, so I did I created a matrix of car sizes, and I went through, and it's got, Ford Broncos, Nissan Pathfinders, it's got 26 vehicles on it. And what I found out was that as cars get taller, they get wider. So, and then as they get taller, their doors get bigger. So, for instance, a Chevy Suburban is between 75 and 77 inches tall, obviously too tall for us, but it's also 81 inches wide and 226 inches long. So a Chevy Suburban should never be on property. A Jeep Wagoneer, again, 76 inches tall, 215 inches length. So like I said, I've got a list of 26 vehicles. So what we found is that our current parking spots are 9 feet wide, which is 108 inches. And like I said, as the car gets taller, many times it gets wider. And so if you have a wide car and big doors, the spots are just too small. I honestly feel that the length at 220 is too long, because I know where I live at building 27, it's hard to get in and out because our parking spots across from each other are too close. So we haven't, how do I want to say this? We have to get the bylaws passed in April to make this change. So a lot of people feel that we should move the car height not a lot taller, maybe 5 inches to 75. That would keep us out of the large SUV, but would get all medium-sized SUVs allowed. This is going to take a vote in April of 256, which, as we all know, is going to be extremely difficult to get. And we have to get this information to our lawyer to get on the ballot in April. We send those ballots out starting in February. So we are going to have to make a decision on what height we're going to want to try for and get it to our lawyer soon. I mean, we're talking, it's August. So my plan right now is, when I get back there, and I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to be back, is to have a meeting of the community, get people's feelings on this. I've already sent it out to the Rules and Regulations Committee. But again, we are just socializing this just to let people know that we're talking about increasing the height of a vehicle. One thing we did do this season is we sent a letter out to people that have cars that we believe are too tall, and we told them that they could park at the clubhouse. Because I don't want anybody that has a car that's 71 inches tall to have to go sell it just to come back in April and say, oh, we changed our minds. So we're allowing those people to park at the clubhouse. I don't know how many are, but we allow that. Does the board or the community have any questions or comments on this?
Kim, can you send those, what you sent to the rules and reg to the board so we can read it?
Yes. Yep, I can do that.
75 sounds like a lot, but I don't know. See
Yeah,
what
I-
vehicles you're
I don't-
talking about.
Kim, this is Paul. You said you looked at 25 vehicles.
Yes.
I've got a list of over 100, and
Oh,
and it's they're all over the board.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, certain manufacturers have different classes. Mercedes got the GL, the GX, the GC, the GS, the
Yep.
G whatever, and they're
Yep.
all different heights, and they change by year. So it's
Yep.
difficult to say, oh, well, if we go to this height, that's going to include everything. Well, it might this year, it might not next year. But having I took your lead and I made a spreadsheet showing, if it goes to 72, these are the vehicles that would be included. If it goes to 74, this would be the vehicles that, would also be allowed. You go to 75 to 76. And so I've kind of got it broken down that way, and I can get that, have that for board members and anybody else who's interested in getting involved in looking at this issue before it goes to the annual meeting, because it does need to be
Right.
voted on, as you said, Kim, by all the owners, and we need to get half of the owners plus one to be able to amend this bylaw. So again, I've got a bunch more information, and I'll get that spreadsheet out to anybody who is interested in it and to the board members, so we can start looking at, if we raise it by X amount, these are the vehicles that will still be excluded.
and we can actually put that spreadsheet under rules and regulations on the website if anyone wants to see it.
Good idea.
And
But
the-
so where I look at this is I go, well, what difference does height make? Okay, other than, when you're talking about a large Suburban or a large Navigator, if the car next to you is taller than your car, you're not gonna see around it. So I'm more, like I said, I'm more concerned with these cars that get longer and wider. I question what height does for us. So,
Okay,
go ahead, Sabrina.
can I make a comment? Or you-
Yep.
Okay, so Kim, there was, when I first got elected, I remember somebody that wanted to come in here with this tall vehicle that you could kind of like scoot up on top of. It was almost like a double decker, what do you call it?
Like a Land
SUV.
Cruiser? Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it was narrow and tall. So I don't know if we want, and he said he needed it for medical reasons. This guy was renting, but if you don't have a car height thing, we're going to get some of these weird off the wall things that
I
we
know.
don't want. I know,
Lifted-
like a little
lifted
bit
Jeeps.
taller car kind of big deal, but
Right.
we're going to get some strange contraption that nobody wants to look at that's going to block everybody's view, and that's why I think we need a height.
Yeah.
Keith Keller, 23D. As part of that amendment to our bylaws back in 2008 or whatever that was, in that they prohibited moping. But one of the recent things under our one, kind of like Dick mentioned, speed. They can zip down these roads pretty good. You're backing out, you look 1 minute, 1 second. So if you're going to address electric bikes. The other issue with electric bikes is the way of charging is apartments. A recent study, not studies, but stories in the paper about households, people charging these in areas that don't have adequate charging. And it's just a issue aligned with electric bikes.
I mean, we don't allow motorcycles. I don't know why we allow, an electric bike. Motorcycle.
Yeah, I think we're in a situation where we're over-regulating everything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, there's just so many. I mean, you go to any parking lot, you go to the market, whatever, and you still got these same kind of issues, and they're not, they're not regulating how tall your vehicle can be or how long it can be. If it fits in the parking space, you're good to go, I guess. But I just think, we got to be careful that we're not over-regulating everything. Just my thought.
But in the interim, we need to follow the rules, and the rules are 70 inches. And we're going to talk about that green Jeep. When it parks over there, it's illegal. And he needs to park here, and Holly has told him, but every weekend he goes right back and parks in front of Building 1, and it's not legal.
Hey,
Bernie?
Bernie Keller, 23D. The question I would have is, you already have a mechanism in place, and it's a matter of, I don't know if it's statute or if it's what you guys have determined, but if someone's breaking the rules, they've signed a document that says we've read the rules, we are okay with the rules, and we want to come here despite the rules. So what your mechanism then is, let's start the process right away. Let's send them the letter. If your rules or if the statute says you have to give them a 10-day notice, you give them a 10-day notice and then you fine them. Or you take the car out of here, whatever that's called. You tow it. You tow it. Or you do that. You don't wait 10 days and then put another letter, and then 15 days and another letter, 25 days, now we'll go to 45. 3 months later, they're still doing it, and you haven't taken your step. You guys have steps in place. You can take them, and maybe you should take them, or find out where the disconnect is. Is it something in your document, or is it in the statute? The statute says you have to do a 10, 25, 45. I know that there's something like that when you do things like eviction, and taking the possession of the put ours on to say 10, this is your fine, we're not going to pay you, and then this is your green vehicle that likes to play games. So my thought is, some of the stuff isn't
problem right now is that we have certain rules for if you violate a rule, you'll get a letter, and then you get a certified letter, and then, it moves on. The problem is, I cannot find, and if anyone knows this, and maybe, like a Bob McCosey or a Diane McIntyre have seen this document somewhere, I cannot find a document about parking issues and what we do, and what the steps are before we tow. We talk about towing. We have a resolution that talks about towing. We don't have this document that says, you get a written notice, and then you get a sticker, and then we're going to tow your vehicle. We don't have that written down anywhere, so I think we actually need to create something like that.
Kim, that's what I'm talking about. You have the mechanism in place, but if you're not using it, there's a reason. If the reason is we can't find that document, then that's where you start. You make your
Yep.
document, or you outline what it is you're trying to do with the Rules and Regulation Committee, because I'm telling you, all the people that I have interviewed in the short time that I have, and this has gone on for years, I've been here 8 years, I got interviewed, I have the document that I signed. They all have a document that they signed. Now, you have a rule in there, and they've decided to break that rule. Now, if you can't find the repercussions of that rule, you need to go there and figure out what those repercussions are and write that kind of stuff down. So as opposed to, let's get a committee that says, oh, someone's over here doing X, Y, Z, and if they're not willing to come to you and they're not willing to come to Holly, they're not going to go to anybody else. They're not willing to write it down. So that isn't going to help you. What's going to help you is look at your framework. How come you can't go from point A to point B? You've got a bottleneck someplace. That bottleneck is that you don't have the rules and regs in place for punishment, if you will. I hate that word, detriment. There's got to be consequences, perhaps, to what it is you're doing.
Consequences.
Yeah. So when they signed that and said, we tell them, we read it. The vehicle is 70 inches high from the top to the bottom. It's 220. Yes, I'm signing it. Yes, I know. And now something else happens. You take it back to them and say, here's your signature. You did it. This is a lawful document, and this is the repercussions of it. Now, I don't know legality-wise if you can go backwards, and I forgot what that's called, retro these people, or from this day forward, once you put into place your rules and regulations. Once you put into place your rules and regulations, you may not be able to go back and say, now you're covered under this. You may have to go there and at that point, you have a beginning, you got to have a finished product with some of this stuff. The solution
Thank you, Bernie. And Bernie, we'll definitely look into this closer and come up with a standardized, this is what, this is what happens, this is what happens, and this is what happens, so that we can get some of these issues gone. No.
Christmas?
I was going to say, as long as I've been on the board, we've never towed a vehicle.
And yet we've encountered some that have been going on for months, parking, not
Yep.
parking.
But the problem, like I said, Brenda, the problem is we don't have a true document that says we do this, then we tow. was a paper warning, then an orange sticker, then you tow, which is kind of what I said. But I don't see it written down anywhere. But we have a resolution that that talks about towing. It just doesn't say when. So maybe we just need to revise that resolution for the next board meeting and, you know, put that into place and get these things. I honestly believe we tow the first vehicle, people are gonna stop doing what they're doing.
Right.
I believe that.
I'm Kathy Lindy. You can't have this. This is what you're gonna write. They do, okay.
And they
Because
also
Okay, so there's a bunch of changes that came into effect as of July 2025. And they're big changes. One of them is what we're doing today. It's the video conferencing requirements. So from now on, anytime a board member is absent and they want to attend the meeting via Zoom or some other video conferencing type of app, like Microsoft Teams, the meeting must be held live, and it must be held also with the Zoom or the video conferencing app. It must be recorded, and when we send out the meeting notice must include, it must have the meeting hyperlink along with the conference calling number, and also must have the visual location of the live meeting. As I just said, the video conference has to be recorded and must be maintained as an official record for also, a live film is not required for these meetings. It's only required for the annual meeting. And if the meeting, if we are all live, or if one of the board members is just asking, isn't going to be able to use the Zoom or as the recording. So that's the video conferencing requirement. Now, there's a new thing too that came out with e-voting. E-voting itself has been in place since 2015. Some associations have been using it all along, and some, like ours, doesn't use e-voting or electronic voting. For all the associations that don't use it, we are working on e-voting. What? Is somebody talking while I'm, okay. So for all the associations that don't use e-voting, from now on, starting this year, we must now designate an email address for submitting ballots. There are a couple of different ways to do this. The best, well, there's the way where we set up our own email address. With this, you would have to sign a waiver stating that you are giving up your right to privacy, which isn't, I wouldn't want to do this. The other way would be to hire a company, and with that, you would have your right to privacy. You would still have to sign, so with the other system, with our email, you would write you would have to sign a waiver, and you give up your right to privacy. With the system where we get a company that does it, you sign a consent form that you wish to vote electronically. If you wanted to flip back to using the regular You could always opt out by signing saying that you want to go back to paper ballots. With both with this new system, you would still have the paper ballot system the way you normally have it, and you would have electronic for those that want it. But it looks like now we must set up at least the email that would provide where you would have to give up your right to privacy. If we set up our own system, one of the problems with our own email is it's susceptible to fraud and scams. And in addition to that, you also lose your privacy. If we're using a company, you do not lose your right to privacy. And in some instances, we're doing research, Kim is researching them. Some of them will still help you out with the paper ballot aspect of it too. So that's all I have to say on those two rules. These two new rules that came into place as of July 1st. Yes?
And for those of you that, well, I guess the cost of using a company to.
Hey, Kimmy, you're very echoey.
I see that. Can you hear me now?
Better.
So the cost for us to do a e-voting with a company is going to
Still
be, hold on. Let me go back and put this on my computer. Anyways, the cost is approximately $1,200.
Okay. That's all on this issue.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're echoey for some reason.
So are they done with the changes of the Florida HB 913?
So is this something we're going to have to vote on, like at the next meeting, if we want to go ahead and have the email, the company, so we can get it set up?
What?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Is this something we need to vote on in the meeting?
I think this is something that gets set up by resolution because it's a must. At least the must thing is if we don't have a online voting system, we have to at least set up our own email. So something needs to be done. It's either set up this email that is susceptible to fraud, that people have to give up their privacy, or it's doing this other thing. And with that, then I think we're actually better off doing the one where people don't have to give up their privacy, or if you don't want, that's the deal. And so I don't think it's something we need to vote on. If we have a resolution, we just have to, once we know what we're doing, we can do the resolution. That's kind of how this is done. Because it's not something that we want to do. We would probably have to vote if we're going to use a company on which company we want. So that's what I think we would vote on. And then there was doing some research, and then we need to get prices, and then we can vote on that part.
That's
But one way or another, we have to set up a
$1,200 yearly or one time only?
It's $1,200 a year.
The voting would go not through Unica portals. I think it would be going through whoever this voting company is that sets up the voting. It would be totally, that would determine, it would be totally fraud resistant. I'm trying to say that's probably the most secure way. You want to make sure people don't vote twice or have fake emails. And there's a bunch of things that these companies would be really good at
I tested this the other day. You get an email with a link, and you go in and vote, and then it goes in, and tells an administrator like myself that someone voted. It will not tell me until the voting is done, like 1 o'clock on the first Saturday of April. It will tell us that the voting is complete, and it will kick out what the result of the electronic voting is. So there's a lot of work to be done to get to a point where we understand all of this, get everything into the electronic voting like we do on the paper ballots, and we give people how we read it, who can read it, I mean, all of it. There's going to be a lot of work. But we would have to have something by that first Saturday in April. We have to. It's per Florida statute. So there'll be more to come on this.
Okay, can we move on?
Yes.
Ratification of the bond.
Okay. First, unanimous consent was for LASCO in the amount of $1631.75. It was for a rider on the bottom floor of building 26. Do I have a motion to ratify?
I make a motion to approve the LASCO amount.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye.
Okay, next one is America Strong. This is to repair Pond 1. While they're on site, they ended up having the best bid. And, in the amount of $50 to repair the erosion caused by the irrigation break at basin number 1.
I'll make a motion to approve that American
second it.
Strong contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes, aye.
Okay.
Okay, next one is Seal Tech Painting in the amount of $83,000. It's to paint buildings 1, 2, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 29, 43, and 49. Those are the buildings that are going to be, after the contractors are done with their concrete work, they are going to be power washed, and then they are going to be painted.
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed.
Okay, next one is JT Roofing in the amount of $397,476 for roofs 3, 4, 5, 7, 31, 32, 49, 50, and 51. This price also includes Reisner Electric that has been undoing the electrical for the air conditioning and whatever else, and for Temtech that has been removing the air
Condensers.
conditioners.
Right.
The price for Reisner Electric is $44,865, and for Temtech North, it's $43,200, which is included in $397,476.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Oh, did I say it wrong? Okay, they're separate. I said it wrong. I must have said it wrong. I just said it, but I know we approved all of them, so thank you. So there's
in regards to building 38A, which is currently unoccupied. Possibility the owner will just forfeit the building for 38A. If a person is interested in purchasing, the owner may be interested in a quick sale, cash sale. However, it will necessitate hazardous removal of just about everything in the apartment and probably a tear down of the stones. If you're interested or know someone who might be interested in a little project of buying a unit that needs quite a bit of work. So, again, if anybody's interested.
Talk to who, Paul?
To Holly?
Okay.
No, no. Right.
Okay, for project update, the first one is buildings. So the building concrete work is just beginning. They put scaffolding on 5 buildings. They're doing 5 at a time right now. It's 15, 17, 29, 43, and 49. They started a little bit of work, and Holly will have more of an update on that one. You want to jump in, Holly?
I was in contact with the supervisor today, Manuel. From what I understand, they started the chipping process. To me today, where they're going to order the waterproofing to go over their repairs. I ordered a tan color. I know the building's going to be painted, but I thought that would be the best steps going forward. That's really all I mean, because they just really started. The part of the was all 2 different things to me. They call them the details, and then the electrician called them. They want to do some rewiring and then take the 200 volts. Or whatever they have the large
Okay. Yeah, so Pond 3, the permit just went through. I guess that what they're doing now at the permit, they're using AI, so it was a little bit of a holdup there in them getting their approval of their permit. So now they're in the process of putting us on the schedule. Also, while they're on site, they're going to be, as I said before, they're going to be addressing Pond 1. been completed. Centricon just completed buildings 1 through 20. They, with the exception of building 13, because it looks like that it has a newer unit, so they must be doing a little research on that. They are going to be finishing up buildings 21 through 24. Looks like they're close on those. Starting Friday, August 22nd, they're going to be starting the other half of the buildings, 25 through 51. So if, Holly, do you have anything to add?
Nope,
to that? Okay, so they're doing, Centricon is moving right along. As far as roofs go, they are just about completed. They're working on roof 51 right now and getting ready to conclude that job. We did 9 roofs, I believe, and we are pretty much up to date on roofs until somewhere I'm thinking early 2030. So that's all I have. Do you have something to add, Holly?
Just to let everyone know, we're holding some of that. We also have retained
on our building yesterday, and then they cleaned it up. It looked great when they left. I was really impressed.
Good to hear. That's all I have.
I'm done too. By law, we're following whatever the statute is mandated. The statute is mandated that only when can't be all live and we're going by Zoom, then we have to have a Zoom link that invites everybody to join in also. We have to otherwise, when we're all live there, Zoom is not mandated.
You can always watch the video, the meeting on live. No, live. Yes.
Rudy Roberts has that in the chat, statute didn't give the minimum, they said that's required. So, they're doing what the requirement is in the statute, they didn't say that's the minimum requirement. I don't know if that answers the question. Thank you, everyone.
And I know, and I know Keith and Bernie, that we for the next hurricane. We broke a lot of them last time, and we're gonna need a load of those. So,
The
if
big
Holly
nuts
already
for
did
the
it, great.
shutters. No, I got it, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciated your reminder.
Yeah, we broke quite